Dunque non sei il tuo maestro, vivi aggrato. Sì, l'ho già in cor. Dunque attenti. Sì, attenti ai candori. Libiamo negli edi carici che la bellezza infiora e la fuggevol ora si è mia voluta. Libiamo nei dolci fremiti che suscita l'amore, poiché quell'occhio al cuore potendeva. Libiamo, amore, amore, fra i conici più calima c'avrà. Tra voi saprò di dire che non lo gioco. Tutti follia nel mondo, ciò che non è piacer. Godiamo, il godio dell'amore, il fiore che non si muore, né più si può godere. Andiamo, ci invita, quando non savi ancora, dici a chi vivo, è il mio destin così. In questo mani, voi soffrite, perché questo no, che provo, passate troppo continuo sarò come la madre. Cessata è l'ansia che vi turbò. Studino, a in cotal guisa v'ucciderete, a verbe d'uomo.
esser vostro.
E lo potrei.
O se mia foste, custode veglierei e vostri soavini.
Che dite? Ma fosser pura di me.
Perché nessuno al mondo ama,
Nessuno.
grande sol io.
È vero, sì grande amor dimenticato mio.
Ridete, e in voi buon cuore.
Forse, e a che lo richiedete?
Ah, se ciò fosse, non potresti allora celiar.
Dite davvero,
Io non v'indanno.
da molto e che d'amor.
Ah, sì, da un anno. Un dì felice e terrea mi balenaste innante e da quel dì tremante vissi d'ignoto amor di quell'amor che palpito dell'universo intero, misterioso altero, croce delizia al cor.
Ah, se c'è vero, faccetevi, solo mi star offro. Io sono
delizia al cor.
dal fatto.
Io m'obbedisco. Parto.
A tal giungeste. Prendete questo fiore.
Perché?
Per riportarlo.
Quando?
Quando sarà sito.
O ciel, domani,
Ben, domani.
io son felice.
Domani dice a te.
Oh, quanto, io son felice.
Domani dice a te.
Oh,
Partite.
quanto,
Addio.
di più non amo. Addio.
On April 16, 1789, Washington, the man who was already half a monument, the first president-elect of the United States, wrote in his diary,
"About 10 o'clock, I bade adieu to Mount Vernon, to private life and to domestic felicity. And with a mind oppressed with more anxious and painful sensations than I have words to express, set out for New York with the best disposition to render services to my country in obedience to its call, but with less hope of answering its expectations."
Thus, St. George of America had begun his triumphal journey to New York to take the oath of office and deliver his inaugural address. Bells rang, cannon thundered, officials welcomed, cavalry escorted, throngs on the highway blessed him. Alexandria, Baltimore. Approaching Philadelphia, he passed under an archway. At a signal, a crown of laurel was lowered over his head. Trenton. Less than 13 years ago, he had crossed the Delaware here, surprised the Hessians, been driven back between the fires of Cornwallis and the icy river, and made his midnight end run to Princeton, lighting up the black hours of the Revolution with a sudden blaze of victory. No Hessians now on the bridge over the Assunpink Creek, but peace, sunshine, a crowd, and a small band of musicians playing a march composed especially for the occasion. 9 years later, Joseph Hopkinson had set the words of Hail Columbia to the tune. Now it was the President's March. Now Washington, crossing the bridge on a white horse, draws rein and stops, as white-robed matrons, young ladies, and little girls with baskets of flowers block the roadway.
Welcome, mighty chief, once more. Welcome to this grateful shore. Now no mercenary foe aims against the fatal blow. Now no mercenary foe aims at thee the fatal blow. Virgins fair and matrons grave, those thy conquering arms did save, built for thee triumphal bowers, strew your heroes' way with flowers.
With pageantry, emotion, and melodrama, the people and their president perform for the first time the ritual of the investiture of leadership in American democracy. For the president, an adulation and an ordeal. No royal line bestows on him his executive powers, no elite. He will rise from the mass and return to the mass, striking attitudes of leadership, exhibiting on demand miraculous wisdom and foresight, moving with the grain of a free people into an ever more dangerous destiny. Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
The people of the United States have not failed. They have asked for discipline and direction under leadership. They have made me the present instrument of their wishes. In the spirit of the gift, I take it.
Harry S. Truman.
The peoples of the earth face the future with grave uncertainty, composed almost equally of great hopes and great fears. In this time of doubt, they look to the United States as never before for goodwill, strength, and wise leadership.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
We must be ready to dare all for our country. For history does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid. This is the work that awaits us all, to be done with bravery, with charity, and with prayer to Almighty God.
John F. Kennedy.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. The energy, the faith, the devotion, which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
A president's hardest task is not to do what is right, but to know what is right. Yet the presidency brings no special gift of prophecy or foresight. You take an oath, you step into an office, and you must then help guide a great democracy. A president does not shape a new and personal vision of America. He collects it from the scattered hopes of the American past.
The invention of the presidency is an experiment in a new relationship between a people and their ruler. Washington himself does not foresee this special relationship when he rides into Philadelphia May 13th, 1787, to take part, as a delegate from Virginia, in the Grand Federal Convention. Neither do Madison, Hamilton, Ben Franklin, nor any of the other revolutionary giants who have assembled to make the Articles of Confederation adequate to the exigencies of government. James Wilson, Pennsylvania delegate, has the notion of the portentous silver cord the convention will weave, linking in perpetuity the American people and their president. Friday, June 1st, the convention has settled down to business. Nathaniel Gorham, Massachusetts, chairman of the Committee of the Whole, advances discussion of the Virginia
If there are
plan.
no objections, we will proceed to the consideration of the next clause in Resolution Number 7, the mode of appointing and the duration of the executive.
Mr. Chairman.
The chair is pleased to recognize Mr. James Wilson of Pennsylvania.
Mr. President, I'm almost unwilling to suggest a mode of electing the chief magistrate for fear the gentlemen think it chimerical.
James Wilson is 44, born in Scotland, studious, a gambler in banking, shipping, and western lands, lawyer, scholar, neat in ruffled shirt and powdered wig, round lenses in spectacles.
I am for an election by the people. Resolution 7. Resolution 7 as proposed provides that the executive be chosen by the national legislature. Why not let the people elect the first magistrate? New York and Massachusetts choose their executive in that manner.
George Mason of Virginia likes the idea, but thinks it impractical. Roger Sherman of Connecticut abhors it. The 66-year-old Connecticut Yankee is a pious, self-taught lawyer who had once been a cobbler.
And if there is any such thing as the essence of tyranny, surely it must lie in the absurd notion that the executive should be independent of the legislature. And if the people elect the executive, that is precisely what he will be. Independent.
Discussion of Wilson's idea is postponed. George Mason urges the Pennsylvania delegate to develop his ideas about popular election. The next day, June 2nd, James Wilson makes a more detailed proposal.
Let the states be divided into districts, and let qualified voters elect electors, who shall elect by ballot blank person or persons not of their own body, in whom the executive authority of the national government shall be vested.
Wilson's motion fails to specify the number of the executive. That has not yet been decided. Indeed, it had been Wilson the day before who had moved for a single executive. The delegates had received his motion in complete silence. All had looked to Washington. Then Roger Sherman had spoken.
Why fix the number at all? Let the legislature be at liberty to appoint one executive or more as experience might dictate. The legislature will be the best judges of the business which ought to be done by that executive.
Mr. Chairman.
Governor Randolph.
We are not meant to model a government after the British prototype.
The young governor of Virginia, Edmund Randolph, personable, a lawyer, former member of Washington's staff.
Mr. Sherman suggests that the executive, at the discretion of the legislature, could consist of more than one person. He wishes to make the magistracy dependent on the legislature. I, on the contrary, desire to strengthen the independence of the executive department. But I cannot see why the great requisite of the executive department, vigor, dispatch, and responsibility, cannot be found in 3 men as well as 1.
The question of the single executive would be settled fairly soon. But the answer to the question, shall the executive be elected by the national legislature or by the people, would continue to baffle the Grand Convention until 11 days before it ended. Today, in the 20th century, Congress might be electing the president, had it not been for James Wilson's stubborn belief that executive power should flow from all the people. In 1787, on June 2nd, Wilson's electoral proposal is buried 7 states to 2 with 1 state delegation divided. The convention in the following days goes on to other matters.
Mr. Chairman,
Benjamin Franklin.
I move that the executive be paid expenses but given no salary.
The sentimental star of the convention has written out a speech in support of his motion. But at 81, he's physically feeble, and James Wilson offers to read his remarks.
To read your speech for you if you wish.
That's very gracious of you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you. Thank you.
Gentlemen, what kind of men will strive for the executive preeminence if it is made profitable? That will not be the wise and the moderate, the lovers of peace and good order. It will be the bold and the violent, the men of strong passions and indefatigable activity in their selfish pursuits.
The 81-year-old Franklin speaks for himself on the question of an absolute veto for the executive. Franklin opposes the motion.
An absolute veto would undoubtedly lead to bribes and emoluments. I recall that under the proprietary government of Pennsylvania, the governor constantly made use of his negative to extort money. No good law whatever could be passed without a private bargain with him, till at last it became a regular practice to have orders in his favor on the Treasury presented along with the bills to be signed, so that he might actually receive the former before he signed the latter. When the Indians were scalping the Western people, the governor's concurrence in the means of self-defense could not be got till it was agreed that his estate should be exempt from taxation. So the people were to fight for the security of his property, whilst he was to bear no share in the burden. This was a mischievous sort of check.
Alexander Hamilton of New York, small, lean, 32 years of age, a man of style, skill, ambition, and energy, also favors an electoral system. On the matter of the executive's tenure, he calls him the governor. He takes an even more radical position.
As to the tenure of office, let the governor be elected for life. If his term were limited, he would be ambitious with the means of making creatures. The object of his ambition would be to prolong his power. In case of a war, he would probably avail himself of the emergence to evade or refuse a degradation from his place. An executive for life has not this motive for forgetting his fidelity, and will therefore be a safer depository of power.
General Washington has not spoken to a single question, and to the very last day of the convention, he never will. The delegates have elected him president of the convention, and he presides solemnly in the chair or sits with the Virginia delegation. The first man put at the helm will be a good one, Dr. Franklin says. Everyone knows that the man from Virginia will be the first chief magistrate. On the question of a single executive, Washington votes aye. Once, just before a day's adjournment, the man who is to be president rebukes the delegates.
Gentlemen, I am sorry to find that some one member of this body has been so neglectful of the secrets of the convention as to drop in the State House a copy of our proceedings, which by accident was picked up and delivered to me this morning. I must entreat gentlemen to be more careful, lest our transactions get into the newspapers and disturb the public repose by premature speculations. I know not whose paper it is, but there it is. Let him who owns it take it.
William Pierce, Georgia delegate, a modest, capable man of about 47, who later related the anecdote, told the sequel.
The general threw the paper on the table, bowed, picked up his hat, and quitted the room with a dignity so severe that every person seemed alarmed.
I should think so.
For my part, I was extremely so, for putting my hand in my pocket, I missed my copy of the same paper. But advancing up to the table, my fears soon dissipated. I found it to be the handwriting of another person.
I declare.
It is something remarkable that no person ever owned the paper.
It is indeed.
Toward the end of June, the larger states, led by Madison, Hamilton, and Wilson, have already won popular representation for the first branch of the legislature. Now they insist on ramming through the same formula for the second branch. In the Georgian room, with the gray and white walls and the 3 immense windows on either side shut so that the heat is oppressive, tempers begin to fray. James Wilson from Pennsylvania, a large state, resumes his argument against an equal vote for the small states in the second branch.
Whenever a question should happen to divide the states in that manner, the rule of suffrage ought on every principle to be the same in the second as in the first branch. Or if the government be not laid on this foundation, it can neither be solid nor lasting. Any other principle will be local, confined, and temporary. Can we forget for whom we are forming a government? Is it for men or for imaginary beings called states?
Mr. President, an equal vote in each state is essential to the federal idea. It's founded in justice and freedom, not merely in policy.
Luther Martin, about 39, Maryland Attorney General, a notable drinker, red-faced, savagely devoted to the sovereignty of his small state.
Now, the states may give up their right to sovereignty, yet they had not and they ought not. States, like individuals, are in a state of nature sovereign, free, and equally independent.
If the president, please.
Elbridge Gerry, Massachusetts, counters Luther Martin. Gerry is 43, the convention's largest holder of continental securities, a major investor in Western lands.
States and the advocates of them are intoxicated with the idea of their sovereignty. Why, we never were independent states, are not now, and never can be. I lament the fact that instead of coming here like a band of brothers belonging to the same family, we seem to have brought with us the spirit of political negotiators.
Mr. Martin.
The small states will never confederate unless it can be done on just principles. Maryland cannot give up the equality of its vote without giving up its liberty. The proposition on the table is a system of slavery for 10 states.
Mr. Hamilton.
Nothing can be more preposterous than to sacrifice the rights of people composing the states to the artificial beings resulting from their composition. The smaller states say that if they renounce their equality, they renounce their liberty. The truth is, it is a contest for power, not for liberty.
Mr. James Madison.
Too much stress is laid, sir, on the rank.
Madison is 36, slender, medium height, usually dressed in black. The youthful delegate from Virginia, laboriously taking down his historic notes of the debates, is generally acknowledged to be the dominant spirit of the convention, a strong nationalist, and fiercely opposed to any compromise with the small states.
I entreat the gentleman representing the small states to renounce a principle which is confessedly unjust, which can never be admitted, and which, if admitted, must infuse mortality into a constitution which we wish to last forever. The states will run into total separation from each other, or they will enter into partial confederacies. Now, either event will be truly deplorable.
Mr. Bedford, Delaware.
The large states seek to aggrandize themselves at the expense of the small.
Gunning Bedford, Jr., corpulent delegate from Delaware, Attorney General of the tiniest state.
Their eyes. Will it be said that an inequality of power will not result from an inequality of votes? Give the opportunity, and ambition will not fail to abuse it. The whole history of mankind proves it. The small states will be ruined. I do not, gentlemen, trust you. We are willing to observe our engagements, but we will meet with the large ones on no ground but that of confederation. The large states, sir, dare not dissolve the confederation. If they do, the small ones will find
迷不住群众眼睛，高压扑灭人民的心声。敬爱的周总理，革命人民怀念您，革命人民怀念您。冬雪纷纷遍地，夏夜城满天星，您的功勋数不尽，您的功勋数不尽。
敬爱的周总理，您紧跟领袖毛主席英勇奋战，历尽艰辛。
万狂来！先生革命天津血潮南昌建军，万里长征，紧跟主席履艰期许，反敌反修一场稳，坚持马列方向里，文化革命，任劳任怨，无限忠诚。
敬爱的周总理，您的一生是战斗的一生，是革命的一生。多少次您带兵下阵，
带兵下基层，
多少日兵长夜不灭灯，
夜不灭灯，
鞠躬尽瘁为革命，各族人民谁不战于龙首深？
曾记得天坎上您喜闻声
高路旁，您谈笑风生，
慰问灾民，应十里不行，
只话
不息，永远向前进，向前进。
July 5th, 1787. The Grand Convention's Select Committee that had worked over the 4th brings back its celebrated compromise, the lower branch of the legislature to be based on population, and in the upper branch, each state to have an equal vote. James Wilson doesn't like it at all.
The committee gentlemen have exceeded their powers.
Madison is aghast.
Oh, an unhappy dilemma. 2/3 of the inhabitants of the Union are to please the remaining 1/3 by sacrificing their essential rights.
I have no hesitancy in saying that the form as well as the manner of the report is objectionable.
Governor Morris, Pennsylvania, is fierce in his disapproval. The tall boy, they call him. 35, shrewd, sophisticated, an aristocrat lawyer with a wooden leg. It does not diminish his reputation with the ladies.
I came here as a representative of America. This country must be united. If the small states do not yield, there will be civil commotion. Scenes of horror will result that cannot be described. If persuasion cannot unite this country, the sword will.
Mr. Bedford, Delaware?
Perhaps I ought to apologize for some of my earlier remarks. I am a lawyer, and warmth is natural and sometimes necessary in my profession. But there is no apology for Mr. Gouverneur Morris's threats of the sword uniting.
Colonel Mason. Gentlemen, there must be some accommodation on this point.
Colonel George Mason, Virginia, is 62, a planter aristocrat. He owns about 300 slaves. Yet he drafted Virginia's famous Declaration of Rights, which proclaimed the natural freedom and equality of all men.
May be liable to objections, but it's preferable to an appeal to the world by different sides, as some gentlemen have talked about. It could not be more inconvenient for any gentleman to remain absent from his private affairs than it is for me. But I would rather bury my bones in this city than expose the country to the consequences of a dissolution of this convention without anything being done.
To avoid a showdown, the delegates drift to other questions. Slavery, admission of new western states. Wilson and Gouverneur Morris, the two Pennsylvanians, split on the share of power new states should have. Morris, a man of wealth and property, wants the Atlantic states to keep a majority of votes.
It must be apparent that the Western lands will not be able to furnish men equally enlightened to share in the administration of our common interests. The busy haunts of men, and not the remote wilderness, is the proper school of political talent.
Wilson disagrees. Is he thinking of his own heavy speculation in Western lands?
Should not the majority of the people, wherever found, govern the minority in all questions? If the interior country should acquire this majority, it will not only have the right, but will take it whether we will or no. I do not agree that property is the sole or even the primary object of government and society. The cultivation and improvement of the human mind is the most noble object.
July 16th, the convention confronts the unavoidable. The delegates vote 5-4 to give the smaller states an equal vote in the second branch of the legislature. Governor Randolph of Virginia is about to take a walk.
Gentlemen, I think we are unprepared to discuss this subject further. The time has come for the large states to consider the proper steps to be taken in the present solemn crisis of the business, and for the small states to deliberate the means of conciliation. Let the convention stand adjourned.
What?
Patterson of New Jersey.
If the governor will put that in the form of a motion, I will agree. The small states will not conciliate on any other ground than that of an equal vote in the second branch. Let the convention stand adjourned. Let the rule of secrecy be rescinded. We will consult our constituents.
General Pinckney, South Carolina.
Does the governor mean an adjournment for the day or an adjournment sine die? I could not possibly think of going all the way to South Carolina and returning again to this place.
General, I have in mind only an adjournment until tomorrow.
The little states are adamant. Next morning, before the convention convenes, some of the delegates from the large states hold a caucus. Madison afterwards reported.
Some of us argued, let the small states go. We'll propose a form of government based on a majority of the people of America and take it to them.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
While others were inclined to yield on the point of an equal vote.
I agree there.
How important is it, they argued? Shall we risk the failure of the convention by insisting on it?
Well,
several of the small state delegates had been invited.
It was all a waste of time. They simply couldn't agree. I'm completely satisfied we have nothing more to apprehend from a union of the large states against a compromise.
I absolutely agree with you.
The battle for the mode of electing the executive now begins in earnest. The target, Resolution 9, a single executive chosen by the national legislature. Governor Morris proposes something far more radical.
Mr. President, I move to strike out national legislature and insert citizens of the United States.
Wilson backs him immediately.
My particular objection to an absolute election by the legislature is this. The executive would be too dependent to stand as a mediator between the intrigues and sinister views of the representatives and the general liberties and interests of the people.
Roger Sherman, Connecticut, opposes election of the executive by the people.
The people, sir, will never be sufficiently informed of the characters of the men proposed for the executive. They will generally vote for some man in their own state, and the larger states will have the best chance of the appointment.
Virginia's Colonel Mason supports Sherman.
Gentlemen, I conceive it to be as unnatural to refer the choice of a proper character for chief magistrate to the people as it would to refer a trial of colors to a blind man. The extent of the country renders it impossible that the people can have the requisite capacity to judge of the respective pretensions of the candidates.
The motion for direct popular election of the executive is lost, but Governor Morris, in arguing for a second term for the executive, keeps hammering at the special relationship the chief magistrate must have to the people.
The executive magistrate should be the guardian of the people, even of the lower classes, against the great and wealthy, who in the course of things will necessarily compose the legislative body. If he is to be the guardian of the people, let him be appointed by the people.
If the executive is elected by the legislature, reason some of the delegates, he should not be eligible for re-election, for there is the danger of his trafficking with the legislators. Still, the same delegates are in a quandary, for they do not want to bar a good executive from a second term.
Mr. President,
Mr. King.
I do not like the ineligibility principle.
Rufus King, Massachusetts, 32, Harvard, married to an heiress.
That if a man has proven himself fit for office, the Constitution should not exclude him from holding it. On the whole, I am of the opinion that an appointment by electors chosen by the people for the purpose would be liable to the least objections.
Wilson seizes the opportunity to go back to his original ideas.
The delegates seem unanimous in their wish not to have the legislature appoint the executive unless he be rendered ineligible a second time. I perceive with pleasure that my original proposal is gaining ground. An election immediately by electors or immediately by the people.
The large states favor the electoral method because they have more people. The small states lean to the choice of the executive by the national legislature, where they have an equal vote in one branch.
Mr. President.
Mr. Ellsworth.
Oliver Ellsworth, Connecticut, a small state man, tries a middle course.
The executive. I move as follows: that we strike out the appointment by the national legislature and insert to be chosen by electors appointed by the legislatures of the states.
The motion is carried, but less than a week later, July 24th, the delegates have voted to reconsider. Then Washington recognizes William Churchill Houston, New Jersey.
I move that the executive be appointed by the national legislature instead of by electors appointed by the legislatures of the states.
The motion is seconded, and North Carolina's Williamson supports it.
Observe, gentlemen, we have lodged the executive power in one man. A single magistrate will be an elective king and will feel the spirit of one. He will spare no pains to keep himself in for life. And then he will lay a train for the succession of his children. It is pretty certain that we shall have a king at some time or other. And we ought to omit no precaution that will postpone the event as long as possible. And the only possible way to do this is to render the executive ineligible a second time and let the national legislature elect him.
Houston's motion that the national legislature choose the executive is carried 7-4. Now, obviously, to make him independent of the legislature, he must be barred from re-election. Therefore, the delegates reason the executive must have a long term in the hope that able men will serve longer. Maryland's Luther Martin.
I move that the appointment of the executive by the legislature shall be for 11 years.
I suggest 15 years.
Why not 20 years? That's the medium life for princes.
James Wilson relishes the predicament of the convention, floundering between election by the national legislature and the desire for a strong independent executive. Governor Morris dramatizes the dilemma.
It is the most difficult of all, rightly to balance the executive. Make him too weak, the legislature will usurp his powers. Make him too strong, he will usurp the legislature.
Wilson makes a canny move. He casually throws out an admittedly undigested mode for choosing the executive.
Let the national legislature choose not more than 15 men, by lot, and let those chosen retire immediately and elect the executive. The mode would avoid intrigue and diminish dependence.
Gary of Massachusetts is shocked.
Why, this is committing entirely too much to chance. Suppose the lot falls on 15 unworthy men. Then the country must be saddled with an unworthy executive.
Rufus King.
This is absurd. Surely the gentleman from Pennsylvania thinks we ought to be governed by reason and not by chance.
I did not move it as the best mode. My opinion remains unshaken that the people ought to elect the executive.
Nobody seems to be satisfied, Mr. President. Why don't we postpone the whole matter?
I second the postponement.
No one objects, but the next day the problem of how to choose the executive is still there, an incubus that will not be banished. Madison pushes for Wilson's original electoral scheme.
That mode, it seems to me, is greatly preferable to an appointment by the national legislature. The electors would be chosen exclusively for the occasion. They would meet at once and proceed immediately to the appointment. A very little opportunity would present itself for cabal, intrigue, or corruption.
The delegates thrash about for alternatives. Ellsworth, Connecticut.
Let the legislature appoint the executive for the first term. And if we make him eligible for re-election, let the various states then appoint electors to choose him for the second term.
Gary of Massachusetts.
Let the governors and presidents of the states appoint the executive with the advice of their councils.
Delaware's John Dickinson is suddenly enthusiastic about an entirely new notion.
Let the people of each state choose its best citizen. Then let each state submit the name of its most eminent character to the national legislature, and let the legislature as a whole, or by the appointment of electors, choose one of the 13 to be the chief executive.
Virginia's Colonel Mason reviews all the proposals, rejects them all, and moves a return to the method originally proposed by the Virginia delegation when the debate on the presidency first began.
Namely, that the executive be chosen by the national legislature for 7 years and to be ineligible for re-election.
The question is put, the motion is carried, 6 states to 3. The matter, though, is not settled, and the issue will come up again. On August 6th, a committee of detail brings in the first draft of the Constitution. The preamble had read, "The people and the states." But Wilson had persuaded the committee to change it to, "We the people of the states." The draft, for the first time, uses the term, "the President of the United States," and adds that his title shall be, "His Excellency."
Mr. President.
Charles Pinckney, 29, a handsome, vain South Carolina dandy, captured by the British during the war.
The powers of the President have been significantly enlarged in the draft proposed by the committee. He is now Commander-in-Chief of the Army, Navy, and state militias. He can appoint officers and convene the Congress. It would be prudent, I think, when such great powers are entrusted, to connect the tie of property with that of reputation. I therefore move that the President be required to swear that he possesses an unencumbered estate. And I suggest that the minimum figure be $100,000.
The author of Poor Richard's Almanac opposes the motion.
I must say that I dislike everything that tends to debase the spirit of the common people. Some of the greatest rogues I know are the richest rogues.
Pinckney's motion is rejected by so general a no that the states are not even polled. August 24th. The delegates are anxious to get it over with, go home. The convention comes to Article 10, which states that the president shall be elected by ballot by the legislature.
Mr. President.
Mr. Carroll.
Daniel Carroll, a delegate from Maryland, reopens the old issue that everyone knew had not been settled.
I move to strike out election by the legislature and insert by the people.
The motion is lost. Only Pennsylvania and Delaware vote aye. But a few moments later, Morris again moves the less radical proposal.
That the president shall be chosen by electors to be chosen by the people of the several states.
This motion is also lost, but Virginia and Connecticut join Pennsylvania and Delaware in favor of it. Wilson's electoral method has picked up 2 states. August 31st. The convention has finished its work on the Constitution's first draft. The document is about to be turned over to a committee which will work out unresolved problems.
Mr. President.
Gouverneur Morris.
The last article of this draft, the 23rd, provides that the new Congress, when the Constitution has been duly ratified by the states, shall meet and choose the president. I move to strike out the words "choose the president" in view of the fact that we have not yet determined on a method for choosing the president.
On the vote, Maryland divides, New Hampshire votes no, all the other states vote aye. It is clear that most of the delegates had been unhappy about the decision to let the national legislature choose the president. The mode of electing the president now goes to the committee along with other unresolved problems. Wilson is not a member of that committee, but Morris is. Behind closed doors, he fights for an electoral scheme. And on September 4th, when the committee reports, Wilson is elated to find that a system much like his own has been included in the draft.
Governor Randolph.
Mr. President, I ask, and the honorable gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Pinckney, is of a similar mind, for a particular explanation and discussion of the reasons for changing the mode of electing the executive.
Governor Morris rises on his one wooden leg.
The indispensable necessity is to make the executive independent of the legislature. The electoral scheme achieves this goal. It will be impossible to corrupt the electors because they will vote at the same time throughout the United States and at so great a distance from each other.
Rutledge of South Carolina.
I move to postpone the committee's report and to take up the original plan of appointing the president by the legislature.
The motion to postpone is lost. The convention has finally, decisively accepted Wilson's plan. The president, freed from his dependence on Congress, can now be eligible for re-election.
Mr. Pinckney, South Carolina.
Sir, the committee's proposal has one serious defect. It provides that the Senate shall make the final choice of a president if the two highest candidates with a majority have an equal number of votes. I suppose the committee thinks that this will rarely happen. But observe, the electors of the various states will, in their original choices, vote for a man of their own state because they will not have a sufficient knowledge of candidates in other states. What will the result be? A dispersal of the votes, no man having a majority.
Colonel Mason of Virginia had predicted the consequences.
Why, in 19 times out of 20, the election of the president will be thrown to the Senate, a most improper body for that purpose.
James Wilson joins the attack on the Senate's role in electing the president.
If the Senate appoints the president, it will influence his appointment of officers, particularly the officers of the Judiciary Department. The Senate makes treaties, tries impeachments. Thus, the legislative, judicial, and executive powers are dangerously blended. The president will not be the man of the people as he ought to be. He will be the minion of the Senate.
On September 6th, Roger Sherman suggests a substitute method.
Mr. President, I move to strike out the words, here, the Senate shall immediately choose, etc., and insert, the House of Representatives shall immediately choose by ballot one of them for president, the members from each state having one vote.
It is an astonishingly simple switch, but it unties the convention's last Gordian knot. The vote is 10-1 in favor. By throwing the election of a president to the House of Representatives in case of a tie, the small states lose nothing, for each state in the House has an equal vote. But power deemed excessive for the Senate has been cut down, and this is a concession by the small states. The legislature will not choose the president. The people will not elect him directly. Between the president and those qualified to vote, a mediating machinery will filter the national consensus, an electoral college, a unique body assembling briefly for one purpose only every 4 years. James Wilson, Pennsylvania delegate, has won his fight. The chief executive, in his mind, is to be the president by the people, for the people, and of the people. April 23rd, 1789. The pageantry of a ruler elected to dignity, yet wearing the sentimental aura of a crown, is enacted along the New York waterfront. Thousands of cheering people line the docks as Washington arrives for his inauguration. The president-elect is borne across the bay from New Jersey by a resplendent barge manned by 13 oarsmen. A male chorus on a passing sloop salutes him with special stanzas of God Save the King. The flags of more than 20 countries fly from masts. Guns boom from harbor artillery, the British packet, the Spanish sloop of war. The House and Senate, when Washington has landed, discuss his title.
A majority of the Senate, gentlemen, favors His Highness, the President of the United States of America and protector of their liberty.
His Highness, what is the intention of this business?
Representative Thomas Tucker, South Carolina.
Does the dignity of the nation consist in the exaltation of one man and the humiliation of all the rest? This spirit of mimicry will be the ruin of our country.
April 30th, inauguration morning. Washington powders his hair and dresses carefully in a suit of brown broadcloth spun at Hartford, Connecticut, to advertise American industry. He puts on his best white silk stockings, his silver shoe buckles, and fastens on a dress sword in a steel scabbard. And when he has taken the oath of office on the portico overlooking Wall Street and bowed to the cheering multitude, he does not make his inaugural address to the people. He withdraws into the Senate chamber and reads from his paper.
Fellow citizens of the Senate and of the House of Representatives, among the vicissitudes incident to life, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that of which the notification.
The president is a magnet. His power attracts, but it also repels. The delegates to the Grand Convention who invented the office knew that nothing can be done without power, but they also knew that men who wield it may misuse it. Their mechanism for choosing a ruler was designed for inevitable tension, as intimated by Dr. Franklin in a conversation, September 1787, with a certain Mrs. Powell of Philadelphia.
Well, Dr. Franklin, the Grand Convention stands adjourned and the new Constitution is done. What have you given us? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic, madam, if you can keep it.
Miss McLennan. Sir, the Constitution does not give you the right to carry on this war without permission from Congress. And I'm sure that you realize that more than anybody. In view of this misunderstanding that has occurred about the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, why don't you clear up this matter with your critics by calling for a new vote in Congress on this matter?
You don't always clear up your critics that easily. They will be with you before the vote, and they'll be with you after the vote. That's the way it is in a democratic society.
侣心心相啊，声声歌唱。敬爱的周
怀念敬爱的周总理，心中的颂歌，
心中的颂歌，万万千。
最难忘那一天彩霞间，周总理健步登上梧桐山，紧拉着一双双长满老茧的手，向亲人久别重逢，在村前笑微微，紧摇动问寒问暖，方品浓热情的话儿说不完，炕头上捧起那粗瓷大碗，淋吃着玉米窝窝，格外香甜。
西风马良临走边，我们激情满怀看今天，革命生产您指点，我们伸手入伍都指尖。
亲切的关怀，火样暖，您和我们大寨人同心相连，同心相连。
让我们总结出根本经验，要我们多多做贡献，争苦不懈怠，叫我们誓死捍卫毛主席革命路线，希望我们高举大寨旗，破鼓永向前。
幸福的情景常回忆，您好像时时刻刻在我们身边，在我们身边。
最可恨野心家江青窜到大寨，搞阴谋，耍诡计，狠毒凶残。
他反对我们大批修正主义、大批资本主义、大干社会主义，妄想把大寨红旗一刀砍断。
他反对毛主席，陷害周总理，攻击华主席，
妄图篡党夺权，复辟变天。
保江山岂容他野心实现？大寨人针锋相对，怒火胸中燃。霹雳声乌云散，
霹雳声乌云散，
北京城里，
北京城里喜讯传开。
华主席
党中央
英明果断，粉碎了王张将要反党集团。敬爱的周总理，庆胜利我们重报您来纪念。
用台歌唱音乐，用铁炮做花环。
亿万人民世世代代把您怀念，您永远活在我们心间，我们心间。
switches, broken gates, broken dishes, broken parts. Streets are filled with broken hearts, broken words never meant to be spoken. Everything's broken.
Seems like every time you stop and turn around,
something else just hits the ground.
broken cutters,
Broken saws,
broken buckles,
broken law,
broken bodies,
broken bones,
broken voices.
on broken phones.
Take a deep breath,
Feel like I'm choking. Everything's broken. Broken hands,
on broken plows,
broken treaties,
broken valves, broken pipes,
broken tools,
people bending,
broken rules. Hound dog howling, bullfrog croaking. Everything's broken. Every time you leave and go off someplace,
things fall to pieces in my face.
broken hands, broken plows, broken treaties, broken vows, broken pipes, broken tools, people bending, broken rules. Hound dog howling, bullfrog croaking. Everything's broken. Everything's broken. Everything's broken. Everything's broken.
Everything's broken.
Broken.
It's all broke down.
Everything I see is broken, broken. Everything's
Money is the Bentley parked on Wall Street. Money is the new friends you make each week. Money is the inside guy at the bank. Money is the yacht right before it sank. Bet you never thought you'd want so much. Bet you never thought that'd be so tough. So you sell your soul for a piece of the pie. Now you can't sleep, so you don't even try. I wanna be like you. I wouldn't wanna be like you. No way. I wouldn't wanna be like you. You tell a lie, you tell a lie, you tell a lie, but that don't make it true. Money is the monkey giving you a backache. Money is the grease in the palm of the handshake. Money covers up all the evidence. Not taking all the money would have made the best sense. Bet you never thought you'd be that much. Bet you never thought I'd be so rough. You thought you could beat them at that game, but they wrote the rules. Now you take the blame. I wouldn't wanna be like you. I wouldn't wanna be like you. No way. swear, and money is the gray roots in your blonde hair, and money is the ex-wife and the ex-girl